Hi guys, this is Ms.Autry here, and I'm going to go ahead and go over some order of operations with negatives. So we're going to be using negatives and positives now in our order of operations. I am going to still continue to follow with PEMDAS, so parentheses, exponents, multiplication or division, and then addition or subtraction. And remember, those go from left to right. Alright, so here's our first question. In parentheses, we have negative 8 plus 3 times negative 4. So PEMDAS tells me to do the parentheses first. So inside the parentheses is negative 8 plus a positive 3. Since these signs are different, I'm going to subtract. And 8 minus 3 is 5. But there were more negatives to start with, so it is negative 5. Then I'll bring down the rest of the problem. So I'm done with parentheses, no exponents. Now I multiply or divide. And I have multiplication only. So I'm going to multiply negative 5 times negative 4. And negative 5 times negative 4 is a positive 20. Because a negative times a negative is a positive. And we don't have any addition or subtraction, so I am done. And so my solution is positive 20. Alright, we're going to go ahead and move on to number 2. And number 2 can be done in two different ways. We're going to do the standard way first using order of operations, and then I'm going to show you something else. Alright, so we're going to start with our parentheses. And in our parentheses, we have negative 3 plus negative 2. And when we're adding two negatives, we get more negative. So it's negative 3 and negative 2 together make negative 5. Then I'm going to go ahead and bring down everything else from the problem. We don't have any exponents, so I'm going to multiply or divide. In this parentheses, when a number is next to the parentheses, that means to multiply. So I have multiplication. So 6 times negative 5 is negative 30. Because a positive times a negative is a negative. Then bring down the 5. Now we're either going to add or subtract. And we have addition here, but we're adding integers. So these signs are different, so we subtract. And we're left with 25. But we had more negatives to start with, so it's negative 25. And then I am done. Okay. But what I'm going to show you here is another way to solve this problem. So what we were doing is we were multiplying 6 times everything inside. And what we did was we combined what was inside first before we multiplied. However, what we could also do is we can multiply each of the terms inside first and then add them. So let me show you how this works. So let's go ahead and rewrite the problem. So what I said was we added and then we multiplied, right? But since this number is on the outside, if we multiply each of the terms and then add, I'm going to show you how we can get the same answer. And we call this the distributive property. So we say 6 times negative 3, that's negative 18. Okay? Now we bring down the symbol that's between them as adding. Then we go 6 times negative 2, and that is negative 12. And then we bring down the positive 5. So I multiplied each of the numbers inside the parentheses with this number that's on the outside. Okay, now I'm going to add negative 18 and negative 12. Since they're both negative, we add and we get negative 30 and bring down the 5. Looky there. We have the same expression now. So we should get negative 25. So there are two ways to solve it. Now that only works when we have that multiplication on the outside of the parentheses. But we have to remember, we got to multiply both of the numbers inside. Can't just multiply one because we combined here. Then here we did the multiplying and then we combined. Okay, we'll go more through those on Monday in class. All right, number 3, negative 18 divided by negative 3 plus positive 14. So we have a negative divided by a negative, which is a positive. 18 divided by 3 is 6. So it's going to be positive 6, and then bring down what was left. And 6 plus 14 makes 20. And the reason I did division first before I added here was because in PEMDAS, we divide before we add. All right, and then I made my little triangle, and I am done. Something that I could probably improve on as I'm going through this work is probably highlighting or underlining the steps that I did. So on this one, I did the parentheses first, but then I forgot to underline that I did that one second, and this is the one I did last. And then I forgot to do that here too. That just kind of makes sure that I know and you know which step you were doing. All right, so that is order of operations with negative numbers, and I will see you on Monday.